Right now you're hearing all your favorite music on your favorite station. But wait, there's more.
More songs from the artists you love on exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Just open the Odyssey app and click exclusive stations, then a genre to dive deeper into.
A station might be just music, or maybe hosted by Ed Sheeran, Chris Martin, or one of your favorite DJs.
Across alternative, pop,
country, soft rock,
Latin, R&B,
kids,
and even more.
Get more with exclusive stations by Odyssey.
Brought to you by Macy's, Geico, and Coke Zero Sugar.
Hey, this is BJ. Thanks for listening to our show's podcast. If you're a fan of all things geeky, you should check out my other podcast, BJ Shea's Geek Nation. We have new episodes every day, and you can check it out at bjgeeknation.com.
Your home is going into foreclosure and you feel like a financial wreck. You don't know where to turn for accurate information. I'm bankruptcy attorney Travis Gagne. Let's talk about some legal options. If we work quickly, we can propose a plan to save your home, modify the loan, or in many cases even eliminate your second mortgage. The consultation is free. I've helped hundreds of people just like you make informed decisions about whether to save their home or exit it on a reasonable, organized timeline. The chapter you choose sets the tone for the next chapter of your life. Please contact me today at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's Listeners on the Loose, brought to you by Beacon Plumbing, Heating, and Mechanical. Hey, Steve!
Yes?
Stop freaking! Call Beacon.
Stop freaking. Call Beacon.
That's right, man. And Listeners on the Loose is pretty basic. It's simple. You get to be the star of this fine show. Whatever you want to talk about, whatever you want to bring up, 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. But do remember, Steve has one rule for Listeners on the Loose.
And that's to show some energy and bring it. Otherwise, we'll have to gong you and then say goodbye.
Goodbye, old friend.
And we'll play you off, too. If you're just going a little too long, we're going to have to play you off the way the Oscars do. Steve, you know what? He's a hanging judge.
Well, you can only thank so many people.
Yeah, so let's keep it short. All right, let's go to Sam and Squim, 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Sam, you are on the Rock.
BJ and Miggs.
Yo.
We care. How's that? There you go.
How you doing, guys? Hey, the other day you were talking about your first beer.
Yeah, that's right, man. My first beer, I remember my dad looked at me. My buddy and I were like being rebels at 17 years old. Drinking age was 18 in Massachusetts at the time. And my dad walked in early from work, didn't know he was coming home. And there he was, caught us with our buds. Yep, Budweiser's, that is. How about you?
My first beer was in kindergarten.
Whoa! Now, you remember that? Because maybe somebody gave me beer earlier than that, but my own beer that I got myself, I remember at like 17. But you remember the kindergarten beer?
Okay, so here's the deal. I had an evil stepmother, right?
All right.
So she had a grown son, and he took me and my two older brothers out fishing. Well, along the way, he picked up a couple of 12-packs and expected us to help him drink them so that he could drive home. So we get home.
What a genius this guy is.
Needless to say, we get our asses beat for doing what we're told by our older brother. But, I'm 5, 6 years old. What the hell do I know?
So you got your ass beat for something your stupid older brother, who was, by the way, stepbrother. Really?
I bet that happens a lot.
Damn, dude. See, to me, that is not the way to remember your first beer. That is just that's not right. I never understood that kind of frontier justice. I don't know what kind of justice it was, where you get in trouble for obviously somebody else they put in charge of you making bad decisions. Because that happened to me, too, growing up. I would get in trouble for something I did. I'm like, look, my brother is 9 years older than me. My sister's 9 years older than me. Why am I in trouble for this? I'm a kid.
I think my brother would always try and set me up for failure, but it would always backfire because I was the apple of the family. My mom, the angel.
You were the baby.
Yeah, apple of her eye.
Yeah.
I was her little angel. So no matter what he tried to frame me for, she'd just be like mad at him because he was associated with me.
Oh, yeah. See, that's a tough thing. When
and then
you're
he'd shoot BB guns at me when they weren't around. So it all worked out for him in the end.
Yeah, see, being the apple of the eye, being the favorite kid is not good when you have to be around those siblings alone.
Yeah, it's still to this day. It cracks my wife up. My wife will like jokingly complain about something I did, and my mom will still get defensive. She's like, oh, watch it. That's my son you're talking about. And we would I'm in tears laughing.
Oh, that's funny.
So it's just this nonstop thing of like, how can we kind of push my mom's buttons to see how she will just unapologetically have my back.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's Listeners on the Loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Somebody wants to know, hey, did you guys see that Uber driver here out of Seattle that's offering up a menu of different choices on how you would be as how you want that person to be as an Uber driver? It's pretty funny. I don't know if you've seen this.
Oh, I haven't seen this.
So there's an Uber driver. He hands out like a card, or like a piece of paper and just gives you a list of things that he's willing to be as your Uber driver. So you could have him as the stand-up. And it says, I'll tell you about things that are funny, to me at least, from prison stories to other poor life choices I've made. Don't get a lover's name tattooed on you, ever. The silent ride, and then there's just no text.
Oh, okay.
The therapy ride, got something on your mind? Let me help you take it off. Talk to me. The creepy ride, I don't say anything. I just look from time to time in the rearview mirror, all creepy-like. The rude ride, I be as rude as possible.
All right.
And safety comes before anything. Please wear your seatbelt. I have chargers for every type of phone. If you need one, thanks for riding with me.
That's actually
cool.
It's clever.
I think I'd go silent ride all the time.
See, yeah, the tough thing for this is that I'd love to get this guy. This is what I love about my Wings app. I can actually get a guy, but I mean, I know people kind of do side deals anyway, that if you really do get an Uber guy you like, a lot of times you might be able to get a text number and go, hey, can I just call you and just you'll pick me up whenever.
Oh, just working on the side.
Yeah, I mean,
they frown on that on like Amazon deals, man. You got to go through Amazon to have any communication.
I don't want to confirm or deny, but I think that's the real Achilles heel, is that I think Uber drivers and Lyft drivers would love to be able to have repeat clients because they go, hey, I know you're good. I know you'll tip me good. And as an Uber passenger, I'd love to get somebody that's cool, because you don't always get that. I mean, riding in somebody's just Cheerio-laden, ridiculous Prius with stains all over the place and, just yapping their head off when I don't need that.
Have you guys seen the one Uber it's around? It looks like Elton John's Uber. It's super bedazzled. I don't know I think it's either Uber or Lyft or both. But my wife and I were driving somewhere, and we looked over next to us, and I'm just like, what in the hell is going on next to us? And it's just this over-the-top, lit-up inside party on wheels.
Wow.
I was like, I would love to get on that Uber drive.
Okay, yeah. If that's an Uber or Lyft person, that's pretty brilliant.
Although if you're having a bad day and you ordered an Uber and that shows up, and you're like, you son of a bitch.
Okay, yeah. So listeners on the loose, you pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
So he says, I'd go with the rude ride. 5 stars.
Yeah, it's like Dick's Last Resort, but in a car.
Although when we were in Portland, we took an Uber. We took a lot of Ubers because we weren't driving. And one guy's just like, you guys want to hear a joke?
God, no.
I was like, what are you supposed to say at that point?
Yeah, you're kind of screwed.
And then it's just like, instance, like, President Trump walks into a bubble. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, first of all, it's a joke. I don't want to hear. Now you're going to make it a political joke?
Yeah, it's just, how do you know who we are? I mean, why would you make a joke about politics not knowing where we lean?
It was a dumb joke. It was a harmless joke. It was stupid, and I had no bad words. So he finishes the joke, and me, Munson, and J-Mac were all just like, that was our response. He's like, come on, it was funny. And now he starts giving us a hard time about it not being, he's like, it was clean. I could say it to anyone.
Oh my God.
Just because you could say a joke to anyone doesn't mean you should.
It's like, dude, this is the bad side of rideshare, the whole ride app thing.
Right.
Because you get that guy who is like, dude, why don't you just go get a job?
So he says, I want to thank you guys for telling us about Sugar Factory. I went there for my birthday. Best food ever.
Oh, I forgot about Sugar Factory again.
Damn it.
I know. One of these days. We have so many places to go, dude. I mean, you're living in a good town where you just can't get to all the good restaurants and things you want to do. And I got to say, you know what? Seattle's pretty rocking for that.
So he says one of the coolest Uber rides I've ever had was right here in downtown Seattle. The driver had some metal playing, really quiet, and it was sounded like some cool 90s stuff. I asked him about it, and he had him turn it up, and it turns out he was in Jim Root's band before Slipknot. I guess he used to be best friends with the guy in Iowa back in the day, and that was one of their old albums that they recorded. It sounded killer.
Wow.
We had an Uber driver that worked for Bar Rescue when we were in Portland. And
really?
It was awesome. Just all three of us were just like, what? And just started picking his brain about John Taffer and all the stuff. And
see, now that's what you want to hear from your Uber driver, not a dumb joke.
Not a dumb joke.
Yeah. Listeners on the loose, you pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Travis in Bellevue, you are on the Rock.
Hey, what's going on, man? Uber driver.
Hey, perfect. We got a guy right here.
Nice.
All right, Travis, what's up? What you got for us?
So funny what you guys said about that Carter. I literally just dropped somebody off. I swear I was like his therapist.
Oh, really? He wouldn't stop yapping at you?
Yeah. He was just spilling it all out for me, how terrible his life is, how terrible his job is.
Oh,
he doesn't
wow.
want to get up in the morning.
Dude, that's pretty heavy to lay on. Just that. See, that's also
that. Yeah.
As a passenger, that's also a faux pas. It's like, what are you doing? Oh, well, so what did you do, dude? You just sit there and go sorry? I mean, how do you deal with that?
I mean, you just kind of try and resonate with him. He was a young guy trying to tell him it's going to get better. Everyone's life sucks when you're in your early 20s.
All right, now here's the most important.
Just have like an awkward pause for a second and then look at him and just go, bitches. And then that's enough.
That is the universal response.
Bitches.
All right, here's the question, though, Travis. What rating do you give him as an Uber driver? Can you tell us that? Because this is what I'm always afraid of, is like what they think of me once I get out of that car.
Honestly, what I think about you and what your rating is two different things. I just hit 5 and I hit yes.
Yeah. Oh, see, I'm glad you're a professional. You have such power.
What your rating is, even if you have a 1-star rating, the Uber driver is going to come pick you up.
Right. He wants to make money.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I'm glad to hear that, because I wasn't sure if, like, some of the fancy Uber drivers, like, I don't need to pick you up. You're a 3. I'm done with you. So you'll pick anybody up, Travis.
If you start not accepting rides, then your acceptance rate goes down, and then you lose all your benefits.
Oh, I didn't know about this situation. Okay, now I'm starting to get excited again about Uber. I didn't know about the backlash for the Uber drivers.
Yeah, you got to keep it at like 95%. Which that's like if you reject one ride a day, you're kind of...
Travis, what was the weirdest, besides the therapist one, what was the weirdest customer that you've had that's been in your car?
Well, when I used to be in L.A., when I used to drive in L.A.
Oh, yeah, I bet you get some great characters in L.A.
Yeah.
Damn.
I swear, and I get the therapist thing all the time. I had this girl in my car, and she was hot, dude. But all she could talk about was... I picked her up from a party where there was, like, Maseratis and, like, high-dollar cars everywhere. I filled up with my Prius, right, of course.
Yeah.
She gets in my car, she could sit in the front seat, which isn't very common. And she wants to tell me the whole time about this dude that doesn't pay her enough attention, blah, blah, blah.
Damn,
all
dude.
The way to...
Did you think this was going to be a penthouse forum about to happen?
I was trying to work it, but honestly, declined.
Yeah. It's always a fine line. It's always a fine line when you're trying to talk to a woman who's definitely in distress, like from a boyfriend situation, and you think maybe you can weasel your way in there, but you realize, oh no, her pain of this whole thing is there's no way you're done.
No.
You think you have an in, and you go
get her wherever she needs to be safe and have a nice night.
Yeah.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock.
99.9 KISW, The Rock of Seattle. It's the listeners on the loose. You pick the topic. You guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Somebody texted in. I was in an Uber in Vegas. The guy was wearing a Seahawks jersey. First words out of the driver's mouth was, I was wearing the Seahawks jersey. He says, blank the Hawks. He was from Dallas. We talked football the whole ride. It was really cool. Best Uber ride ever.
Okay, so it was a really fun blank the Hawks, because you sometimes don't know.
Yeah.
Sometimes it can be awkward if you get a really aggro sports fan who just doesn't, like, okay, really, dude? I mean, come on.
Someone also talking about Uber. I was in Las Vegas, and Uber driver said, do you want me to take this ride up a notch? We weren't sure what he meant, but we said, sure. And he whipped out microphones and turned on a disco ball, and we ended up doing Uber car karaoke from Rose in Tacoma.
Sweet! Oh, that's a fascinating thing.
Saying yes to, do you want me to take it up a notch, could go one or two ways, but I think you have to say yes every time.
Yeah.
It's worth the risk.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just thought about the guy that wanted to turn up my rider a notch, and it was just a guy, and he all of a sudden pulled out Coke and poured it all over his hand and started sniffing them while driving. I'm like, that's not the notch I wanted you to turn it up to, buddy.
Still makes for a great story.
Yeah, it does. And I lived. I'm just glad I did.
So he says, this is Ashley from Monroe. Vicky was talking about getting hit on at a doctor's office. I'd much rather have someone attempt to ask me on a date in public than do the online thing. The weirdest thing that's happened to me is a guy asked me if he could pay me to put a diaper on him. I noped the heck out of that conversation quick.
I had a guy online ask if I would change his diaper. Oh. So not on me, but to change his diaper.
How'd that go?
I didn't do it.
Oh.
I wish there was a place where people like that have these particular desires could go. There's nothing wrong with any of that, except if people aren't into it and you don't know somebody and you're in, I mean, it's just, you don't open with that. I just.
But why? You know what? Let's cut to the chase. I don't want to have to deal with the small talk. I'm wearing a diaper, and it needed to be changed.
I had a guy who's...
Do not flag that, Rev.
That's
too late.
Flag that, Rev.
He opened with, I don't want a relationship. I don't want to go on a date. I'm just looking for women to kick me in the boys. And he had a picture of himself getting kicked in the boys.
I wonder what his success rate is on those kind of, first impression messages. I'd imagine every once in a while he gets a yes.
I mean, I sat and talked to him. I'm like, why? And apparently he got kicked in the boys once, and after the pain subsided, it felt good.
Oh, like an adrenaline rush.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want that, dude. No way do I want that. The adrenaline rush is not worth getting kicked in the boys.
I always say, like, sometimes the tattoo, even though it's painful, it's worth it because that moment when it's done, it's just such an exhilarating feeling. It's like this,
See, I am so jealous of you guys. It's like the workout, the runner's high, all that. I get none of that. I am miserable before, during, and after of all of these kind of activities.
That's probably the problem, is that you're just miserable.
Yeah. All right, that's it. I hadn't thought about that.
We got to work on that, BJ.
Well, thank you. I feel good about being alive. It's listeners on the loose, 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
So it says, BJ, are you going to go to the Disney ride exhibit for Star Wars when it comes out?
I just read an article about that. Oh, my God. They are going to have a 1-to-1 full-scale, I think it's 25 feet tall, Millennium Falcon.
Whoa.
It's insane.
Wait, so you can go inside it?
You can go inside it, it looks like. You can. I mean, it's insane. I've just seen one picture. Of course, it's not completely done yet. It's going to open up sometime next.
I think in a couple of years.
Yeah, I forget exactly when.
I think it's 3 years from now,
Let me
if I
see
remember
where-
correctly.
For Star Wars?
Yeah.
It's supposed.
Is it August of this year, I thought?
Yeah, it's supposed to be this year.
Anaheim is August, yeah.
Oh, what I remember is that the hotel was already booked 3 years out.
The hotel is
Yeah.
a different thing completely.
Got you.
So yeah,
But they've already invited certain press people to come check it out already.
The Star Wars land that they're building should be open in by the end of the year.
So what I'm imagining is that the Millennium Falcon will be the beginning and end of a ride, and all the merch will be inside the Millennium Falcon.
Oh man, whatever it is, dude, it's going to be fantastic because it's full scale. It's exactly how big it should be in the movies if you were to build one.
They are going to make so much money. It's not even funny how much money they're going to make.
See, I wish I knew somebody at Disney. I know my buddy at Universal, which was great to see all the Harry Potter stuff.
You don't know Mickey?
I mean, unless I do what Danny says and buy the Super Pass, that's like what, $7,000? What's the Super Pass?
Oh, you're talking
$15,000?
about the VIP experience. That's 12,000.
12,000.
Yeah, jeez, I thought I was just getting used to 7,000, Danny.
Well,
It's only a couple more thousand, BJ.
It's actually almost double, Steve.
It's just a couple.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Well,
not a couple.
I am going in June. I don't think it's going to be open yet.
No.
But I'm going to go in June. But I'll let you guys know what it looks like from the outside.
Yeah, when I went to Disney World, I saw everything being like kind of blocked off and stuff. You couldn't see anything special, but it's still exciting.
I go down a lot because my wife lives in Orange County. So really, Anaheim is not far from Newport Beach.
Right.
But to see, I have to go with somebody. Kathy's not going to be that interested to go see the Star Wars land, but
all right, we'll all go.
Yeah.
I would go in a heartbeat.
I know. It's going to be so expensive, right? Or we have to wait in such lines.
Well, if you buy us all that special
the
VIP
$12,000
thing.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, sure.
No?
No. If we get the company to pay for it and say we're going to do like a blog.
Yeah, good luck to that.
See, the good thing is that if we go, everyone's going to be at the Star Wars land, which I'm not saying you guys wouldn't either, because I know you guys love it, but I'm just saying all of the other rides are going to be
neglected.
Oh, yeah. I'm so excited to go to Disneyland while everyone is like waiting at Star Wars land.
It was like the Toy Story part of
Hollywood Studios.
Yeah, when we went there in Orlando, it was... Because at first we walked around and we're like, it's actually not that bad. It's tolerable. And like, let's go check out the Toy Story exhibit part. And that was just a freaking packed house.
Now you know
some
why.
Relatively new rides.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yep.
I mean, you know what? I don't know. We had the tour. I mean, granted, my buddy wouldn't shut up and he took a long time. But I mean, we had a guy and it still felt like it was a long and busy day.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is D. Ted Smith. He knows Mickey, so he can help us out.
All right,
maybe.
good. Well, then, you know what? Ted Smith, we're going to do it.
Hey, look up Club 33 at Disney. Membership is $25,000.
Yep.
So get us all memberships.
Okay, Steve. Now we went from $7,000 to $12,000 to $25,000. The number keeps going up, Steve.
But we could go multiple times, right?
You can get free tickets when you go dine at Club 33, but you still have to pay for your meal, number one.
What?
And they're not like special tickets. They just give you park tickets that day.
Well, F that.
And if you're paying $25,000 for that,
yeah,
and you don't even get Fast Pass tickets,
you might get Fast Pass is
you're
a
paying $25,000. They should let me. I should get to have relations with Minnie at this point.
Well, I mean, that's Mickey's girl.
I don't care. $25,000. Mickey's going to have to take one for the team.
How about this? This is a very indecent proposal there, huh?
Hey, kids.
So it says if you have someone in the military buy your tickets for you and then go at least the very first day, it's heavily discounted at Disneyland.
Oh, I wouldn't feel right about that.
Yeah.
Because I mean, they would look at me.
Have
and
you seen the price of Disney World tickets?
I know. You're
Sometimes
right.
morals go out the window when you can save a couple dollars.
Yeah.
Also, too, the thing with Club 33 is that there's a 10-year wait list.
Oh, so it's like getting season tickets for the Seahawks.
Are you serious? $25,000, you don't even get the best tickets.
Yeah.
You know what? We're stupid people.
It's a good restaurant.
It's not that good.
There's no restaurant that
I
good.
haven't even been there, and it's not that good.
I'm sorry. Canlis, you don't even have to pay $25,000 to get into, and I don't believe it's better than Canlis.
Oh.
It can't be.
Well, it's really good. I mean, it's a good steakhouse. It's the only place in Disneyland you can get alcohol. I like it. I've been there.
And you pay $25,000?
No, you pay if you know somebody. You just have to be a member. That's the membership fee.
So
but if you know a member, they can make a reservation.
Oh, well, I'm going to know a member. I'm not paying my $25,000.
And I'm with this person. VIP at Universal Studios is awesome. You get to cut all the lines as much as you want. It's only like $100 and something bucks more than the regular price. We did that. And, and it was worth every penny to be able to just like, that ride was awesome. Let's go on it again. And then just get right back in line. Like, right back into bypassing the line.
Yeah. See, Disney doesn't do that, right, Danny?
You have to have an app, and you get, I think, 3 fast passes on the app a day.
That's it.
It's different at Disneyland.
All right, Disney World, it was like that.
Disneyland, you still have to pay extra for the app, and then you log on and you can get as many fast passes as you want. But it's like it depends on how long you go through the day. So meaning like if you get one for for Space Mountain at 10. You can get another one after you ride that one. So it just depends.
You. You can't like stockpile one ride.
Right.
Yeah, Disney World, the app was, at least the one I went on, the app was free and you could reserve it ahead of time, but you can only use a fast pass 3 times. And you could like get rid of one if you're not feeling it and get a new one. But the best rides sometimes all the fast pass claims are done even before the park opens.
Yep.
Oh. Because you can do it in advance.
Yep.
Whoa. So you really got to plan this out.
Yeah. So like we had the Aerosmith ride. I was like, I know I want to do that one, and we did it like 2 days before, and still we had to get like a 5 o'clock ride because it was so packed.
Wow! Oh, that Star Wars is going to be insane. That's going to be nuts.
You might as well get the app and reserve the rides now.
Yeah, you're right. I think you're too late by now. So listeners on the loose, you pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999. Adam in Bothell, you are on the Rock.
Hey guys, good to talk to you again.
You too, buddy. What you got?
I was just calling in regards to those teenagers that rescued that 8-year-old kid.
Yeah, that was cool in Vancouver, and they were really cool. Got some netting and padding, and a little 8-year-old was able to drop 25 feet after he was stuck on a ski lift, and they saved him. No injuries for that kid.
Yeah, so I grew up in the 80s, and my dad got me skiing as soon as I could walk. And but I had a jacket that got stuck on the old lift they used to have at Mount Baker. And we were at the top of the mountain, and he just turns around and goes, "Stay right there," because I was able to kind of muscle myself back up onto that seat. And then I just got to watch my dad rage down like all these moguls. He was doing like the back scratchers and the twists and all the tricks, and he was dropping cliffs, and he didn't fall once. He was amazing. And he always told me that he was that guy. But, when you're young and he's riding along with me, he was kind of, toning it down. And this is the first time I got to see him go. It was awesome.
And you were stuck on the lift when you saw your dad be the Superman of the slopes.
Dude, he beat me down. He beat me down and was already down at the bottom of the lift waiting for me to get, and he jumped back on my seat. And he, helped me off.
Wow, dude, what a Superman.
Dude, yeah, we had a rough relationship growing up, but I'll never forget that. And then since then, we've mended all of our differences, and we're like best friends. We go to Whistler and stuff to see. And I
glad to hear that.
What a story! This was a great story.
Jealous of his and my relationship.
How about this? This is like
if you have family issues, someone needs to get in a situation where they need to be saved at a ski store.
It's nice storybook ending. I feel like this deserves Oscar music, Steve. It sounds like a wonderful speech. I think it's wonderful. Adam's thanking his father.
Hey,
Thank the Academy.
Guys, that fast pass is a joke. Dude, I went to Anaheim with my wife. It's a joke. However, if you get a chance to ditch your wife and she wants to go back to the hotel early, go into the singles lines on all the sweet rides because you just slide right in, man. It was awesome.
Right?
Solo, 38 years old, feeling like a kid again.
Wait, they have a singles line?
Yeah, they'll ask you, hey, are you a single rider?
Oh.
Yeah, the single rider idea is brilliant. Because sometimes
it's so sweet.
Sometimes those rides will have if it's 3 or something, or if it's one person.
Oh, and so you just wherever you are in the line. So that's the first dude. So whoever raises their hand and says, "I'm single," just like that.
Yeah,
there's completely separate lines, and it's great too because even if you are a couple and you have a really cool girlfriend or wife, you can go and then you just don't sit together. But sometimes you get on the same ride car and stuff like that, and it goes way faster.
It does, but I do like to make sure that we sit next to each other so I can look at my wife while we're going on the roller coaster. Like, this is effing awesome. It's kind of weird when you do it to an 8-year-old. The parents they frown upon that.
That's true. Yeah. So listeners on the loose, you pick the topic, you guide the show. 206-421-ROCK. Text us at 77999.
Big question for the nerd world. Have you guys seen the new Hellboy trailer?
Yeah.
Well, if you haven't been listening to the commercials of our fine radio station, I mean, Vicky and Rev are going insane.
That's so awesome.
It looks amazing.
What's his face? Hellboy still? Ron Perlman?
No, David Harbour.
Yeah, it's Vicky's new crush from Stranger Things.
He's the Sheriff Hopper in Stranger Things. And he's awesome. I love it because it looks a lot grittier than the previous Hellboy movies.
How long has it been since the last Hellboy, or the first one that came out with Perlman? Are we talking 15 years at least?
Oh, I bet.
I mean, it might be 15. If it's 20, I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, but it could be 20.
2004 is when it came out.
Yeah, 15 years.
Okay, there we go, 15. Well, it's about time. New Hellboy. And we'll see how David Harbour does. You guys, but it looks good, though. You guys are stoked from what you've seen.
I'm stoked for this one because it's rated R. And just looking at the Red Band trailer that is out, there's some naughty words, but the action is more brutal as well. Like, he is fighting some gigantic monsters and just wrecking them. It is awesome.
Okay, that is going to be cool. And that's April, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
April 12th.
Wow, geez, we've got Captain Marvel next week. We've got Hellboy to lead us all the way to the Avengers movie that Rev's going to hate because Thanos will be beaten.
I'm fine with it because I already have my movie where Thanos won.
Yeah.
Right. You don't have to watch this one again if you don't like it.
Right?
Yeah. That's awesome.
BJ and Migs, mornings on The Rock, 99.9 KISW.
Today's podcast was brought to you by Travis Gagne, bankruptcy attorney. He's here right now and has agreed to answer more of your questions about bankruptcy. How do I figure out who my creditors are?
People a lot of times have had a long time of not having good credit and having collections, and so they're concerned that you may be concerned that you won't be able to find all your creditors if you file bankruptcy. How will I know which collection agency has my credit card bill from 10 years ago now? And that's something that's hard to keep track of because credit collection agencies transfer your debts all over the place. But we will pull all your credit bureaus, and by getting all three of your credit bureaus, we'll be able to tell who has your credit and debt now, which collection agencies have had it in the past, and we'll make sure that we file all your creditors when we file your bankruptcy so that nothing slips through the cracks.
Thanks, Travis. If you have more questions about bankruptcy, you can reach out to Travis anytime at choosetherightchapter.com. That's choosetherightchapter.com. Thanks for listening.
I'm Erin Ryan, political commentator, comedy writer, and host of Crooked Media's Hysteria.
And I'm co-host Alyssa Mastromonaco, former White House Deputy Chief of Staff for President Obama.
Each week on Hysteria, we are joined by a team of hilariously opinionated ladies to discuss the headlines from the serious to the absurd.
We cover everything from reproductive rights to rom-coms and break down the political news of the week and cultural stories that affect women's lives.
New episodes of Hysteria drop every Thursday. Listen on Odyssey, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.